annihilate
What's up YouTube? Agent Zero here, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison video between Antiope-D and the Huckleberry. Two submachine guns in Destiny 2, and as you can tell, the Huckleberry is an exotic, while Antiope-D is a legendary submachine gun. So let's take a look at the stats. The Antiope-D has better impact, range, and reload speed, while the Huckleberry has better stability, handling, RPM, and magazine size. So, since the Huckleberry is an exotic, the perks are what you see is what you get. There are no choices on the Huckleberry. The main points of the Huckleberry is that it has Ride the Bull, so you have an increased rate of fire and recoil when you're holding down the trigger, and also when you get kills with the weapon, it will reload a portion of your magazine, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. The gun also has ricochet rounds and rampage, where kills with the weapon temporarily grant increased damage. The Antiope-D has some very nice perks. It has ricochet rounds as well, and it also has kill clip, where reloading after a kill grants that increased damage for a short time. If you didn't want to use ricochet rounds, you can also use tactical mag instead, which would increase your stability, reload, and also your magazine size. So now that we've talked about the perks of these two guns and looked at the stats, let's get into the subjective part of the review, where I give my opinion on these two guns and which one I prefer and why. So first, let's talk about PvE. Both of these two guns actually have a lot of tricks up their sleeve for PvE. Ricochet rounds is pretty nice. You can ricochet your bullets off of hard surfaces and hit enemies that are around corners, or if you're not that accurate, since these two are submachine guns, a little bit harder to control than other guns. You may be bouncing some of your shots off of the grounds or what have you, anything that could be in the vicinity of your enemies. The Huckleberry, as you're taking on those enemies, you are getting kills, you are reloading a portion of your magazine, and you also have rampage. So those two perks stacked are actually very nice for the Huckleberry when you're facing hordes of enemies. The Antiope-D, another gun that is very good for hordes of enemies, especially with kill clip. Kill clip is a great perk. You kill an enemy, you reload, and you're getting that increased damage. So which one of these guns does it better? Now, the drawback of the Huckleberry, and kind of the Antiope-D, but more so on the Huckleberry, is you have to make sure you are the person getting the kill. You have to put the last bullet into an enemy, and this is for PvP as well. If you're not putting the last bullet into the enemy, then you're not activating your perks, which is definitely a drawback for both of these guns, but it affects the Huckleberry more. The Huckleberry really relies on getting those kills so you can reload your magazine, because the reload speed on the Huckleberry is just awful. It takes a very long time to reload your gun, whereas the Antiope-D, reloading actually isn't too bad. It's a typical reload speed, so you get a kill, you reload, and you're getting that kill clip activated. The Huckleberry really relies on getting that kill so you can reload a portion of your magazine. Despite the fact that these two guns are great at hordes of enemies, I would actually take the Antiope-D over the Huckleberry, especially when you're playing with friends, because friends don't know always who you're shooting at, and they could take your kills, which is going to negate the effects of your gun. The Antiope-D, even if you're not activating kill clip, is still a very good gun, and you're going to get a lot of use out of it. The Huckleberry is a decent gun, but if you're not getting those perks activating, it's kind of a waste of an exotic. So for that being said, PvE, I'm going with the Antiope-D. Now for PvP, we already talked what I just said. If you're not getting that last bullet, you're kind of wasting your perks. You really have no perks if you're not getting the last bullet on an enemy. And it's even more exemplified in PvP, because that reload speed is awful. You need to make sure on the Huckleberry that you have a secondary, an energy slot weapon that you can switch to quickly, whether it's a sidearm or a gun that can be drawn unbelievably quickly. If you are down to a very minimal amount of bullets in your clip on the Huckleberry, you're definitely going to want a decent secondary, because you're going to get caught with your pants down, essentially. That's just how it feels when you have to reload this gun, because it's so slow on a reload. So with that being said, if I had to choose one of these guns for PvP, to be honest, the reload tips it in the favor of the Antiope-D, because even if you're not activating kill clip on the Antiope-D or rampage on the Huckleberry, the reload speed on the Antiope-D can definitely help you out in a pinch. Now, getting that automatic reload on the Huckleberry is nice, but it's not going to happen as often as you'd like, believe it or not. I found myself a lot of times just being, again, caught with my pants down and not having the amount of ammo in my clip to end up killing the enemy. So I'd go with the Antiope-D in PvP. With that being said, we've looked at PvE, we've looked at PvP. Overall, I am going to give my edge to the Antiope-D if I had to choose just one of these guns. I really do love the Antiope-D. It's arguably, if not the best submachine gun in the game, and that's including the exotics you just saw. In my opinion, it beats out the exotic Huckleberry. So, if you had a choice between these two guns, I'd definitely choose the Antiope-D, but that's just my opinion. Use whichever gun you prefer. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more Destiny 2 content. Well, until next time, peace!